This is impressive, my friend. Lincoln Financial Field was still in full swing when an unexpected shot transformed the evening's brilliance into absolute shock. In a matter of seconds, one of the Eagles' most explosive stars made a decision that left everyone in disbelief. And Nick Sirianni's post-game comment was as compelling as the need. The coach made it clear that no matter how talented, there are limits that cannot be crossed. The point is, this demand isn't just about discipline. It could change the season's narrative even before week 2. So, subscribe to the channel and follow me, because what I'm about to tell you now exposes behind-the-scenes details that haven't yet reached the mainstream media. It was a game that should have marked the beginning of a new chapter. The Philadelphia Eagles host the Dallas Cowboys at the Link, a stadium packed with free-spirited fans and high expectations. But seconds into the game, a shocking moment turned the excitement into a description. Jalen Carter, the star defensive tackle, was ejected for spitting on Dak Prescott. What should have been a close encounter quickly turned into chaos for the Eagles, who found themselves not only without their star player, but also faced the reality of their growing discipline issues. Coach Nick Sirianni, known for his calm approach, addressed the situation immediately after the game. Although the Eagles managed to secure a 24-20 victory, Sirianni's words were clear. Carter's time was needed, and his absence was deeply felt. "We needed him out there," Sirianni said, his frustration palpable. "But he wasn't there when we needed him most against a great offense." It was a sobering reminder of what was in the game. The Eagles weren't just playing for a win, they were playing for a championship, and discipline was paramount. Carter's explosive talent had already earned him the trust of one of the league's most promising young stars. But his inability to control his emotions was becoming a problem. This wasn't the first time he'd gotten in the way of his development through undisciplined play. A pattern was beginning to emerge. His history of unnecessary turnovers and a suspension last season had raised concerns. And now his latest transgression, a flagrant violation of sportsmanship, paved the way for even more significant consequences. Despite his public apology, it was a mistake. It won't happen again. Carter's actions raised a crucial question. Can he control his fiery passion and still be the player the Eagles need him to be? Sirianni made it clear that while Carter's actions were being addressed internally, the coach also needed to prepare for the possibility of Carter missing games, including the matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. While Carter's loss was a severe blow to the defense, the Eagles weathered the storm. Players like Byron Young and Jordan Davis excelled, demonstrating the grit and resilience that defined the team's success. But the truth is, without Carter, the Eagles' defense was less formidable. More worryingly, Carter's repeated lapses in judgment could jeopardize the team's chances of reaching the Super Bowl. The issue is clear. Sirianni needs to find a way to channel Carter's immense talent, ensuring his growth as a player and as a person. The Eagles cannot afford to lose their young defensive star again, especially with the championship window open. The stakes are higher than ever, and the pressure on Carter is mounting to prove he can handle the responsibility of being a star player in the NFL. And if the night already started on a high note with Carter's ejection, the game against the Cowboys only heightened the drama, bringing moments of brilliance and frustration that marked the season opener. The Philadelphia Eagles' season opener against the Dallas Cowboys was a roller coaster ride. The game had it all: explosive plays, a controversial ejection, and nail-biting moments that left fans on the edge of their seats. In the end, the Eagles secured a 24-20 victory, but the game left plenty to talk about, both the good and the bad. Let's analyze the best and worst moments of this dramatic Week 1 matchup. First, let's talk about Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. The man continues to prove he's one of the best players in the league. Hurts was absolutely dominant throughout the game, showcasing his impressive arms and legs. He completed 19 of 23 passes for 152 rushing yards, with 2 rushing touchdowns and 62 rushing yards. His ability to escape pressure and make big plays with his legs was a key factor in the Eagles' offensive success. Hurts was efficient, composed, and showed up in critical moments when his timing was most needed. Zach Bond also deserves a mention. The linebacker quickly proved to be a key pillar of the Eagles' defense. In a game where Jalen Carter was ejected early on, Bond excelled and had one of his best performances. With 9 tackles, 1 for loss, and a crucial pass defense, he demonstrated his worth as one of the Eagles' most valuable defenders. Bond was all over the field, preventing what could have been a touchdown and making impactful plays when the time was right. And we can't forget Jihad Campbell, the rookie who had a fantastic NFL debut. In his first start, Campbell recorded 3 tackles, defended a pass, and forced a fumble. The young linebacker's performance gave the Eagles a much-needed boost, especially in Carter's absence. His athleticism and instincts were on full display, proving the Eagles have a promising future with him on the roster. But as good as the Eagles were in key areas, there were some serious issues that couldn't be ignored. First, Jalen Carter's ejection was the game's most glaring negative. Carter's act of spitting on Dak Prescott was not only disrespectful disrespectful, but also a severe blow to the defensive depth. His absence left a significant hole on the defensive line, and while the Eagles' defense held its own, they were undoubtedly weaker without their star player. Carter's behavior was a distraction, and now the Eagles must deal with the consequences. Then there was Miles Sanders' performance for the Cowboys. Although Sanders had a decent game, he made a costly mistake, a fumble that disrupted Dallas's rhythm at a crucial moment. Sanders, who had been a reliable player for the Eagles, couldn't help but be part of the Cowboys' problem that night, and his loss of possession contributed to the game's drama. Finally, the Dallas Cowboys offense as a whole failed to capitalize on opportunities when it mattered. Prescott threw some impressive passes, but the Cowboys failed to execute consistently, especially in the second half. Their inability to finish plays proved to be a determining factor in the loss. Although the Eagles emerged victorious, they know there's still work to be done. Jalen Hurts and the offense appear to be in mid-season form, but the defense will have to find a way to operate at full capacity without Carter. But while the spotlight was on the highs and lows of Week 1, the front office's eyes are already looking further afield, looking at how to keep this defense among the best in the NFL. The Eagles' bold move. Howie Roseman targets an elite cornerback to complete the secondary. As the Eagles continue their quest for greatness, the front office is already looking to the future. With the loss of Darius Slay and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson during the offseason, the team's secondary has a clear hole to fill. The good news is that general manager Howie Roseman has a history of making bold moves that solidified championship contention, and he's already looking to improve the defense for the long term. In a recent mock 2026 NFL draft, Roseman made a significant decision. With the 28th overall pick, the Eagles selected Mansour Delane, a cornerback from LSU. Delane had a standout season with LSU, making a huge impact in the opener against Clemson with an interception and 2 interceptions. His ball handling skills and pass blocking ability make him an ideal fit for the Eagles' defense. Adding Delane would allow the Eagles to team up with Quinion Mitchell, one of the league's rising stars. With Cooper DeJean already on the roster, Delane's arrival would provide the flexibility to move DeJean to different roles, such as safety or nickel corner. This understanding would give Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio more options to build the defense around his strength in pass coverage. Roseman's decision to target the latter in this draft further proves the Eagles' focus on maintaining one of the NFL's best defenses. With Carter's disciplinary issues and the team's overall Super Bowl aspirations, could adding a player like Delane be the final piece to solidify a secondary that can dominate for years to come? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.